Today's lesson is writing an invitation. Hi, everybody. My name is Roger.
And I'm Hanny.
And you're all certainly welcome to join our program today. That, of course, is a spoken invitation, but we're talking about a written invitation. We are writing an invitation. You want somebody to come to your bar mitzvah or your wedding or your quinceañera or whatever. And in order to get people to come to your function or to come and travel with you, you need to send them an invitation. And lots of times we write an invitation in the form of an email, but if it's for your wedding or something, you better write it by hand or have it printed out nicely and mailed to those people you want to invite.
好，我们这个月的主题是写作呢，是关于 writing an invitation 撰写邀请信。那我们就是要写一封电子邮件，要邀请外国友人到台湾来玩哦。那我们平常在传 LINE 啊，传这种简讯的时候，你可能常常可以用贴图、表情符号等等，甚至通常写字都不会加标点符号这样。可是我们在写电子邮件的时候会比较正式一点，所以我们在撰写电子邮件的时候要注意，无论是正式或是非正式信函，都会包含基本的称呼语，还有结尾敬语，还有署名。好，那我们接着就来练习吧。
Okay, so let's practice this concept. In today's lesson, we've got somebody here in Taiwan who is talking to their friend who lives overseas, and our writer wants to invite that person to come to Taiwan to travel. So the first part of our lesson here says, the COVID-19 pandemic is finally slowing down here in Taiwan, so the government decided to open the borders to tourists. Since you mentioned that you've been interested in visiting, summer vacation would be a good time for us to see the sights together. So indeed, of course, we all know about the deplorable COVID-19 pandemic that pretty much ruined everything. But the COVID-19 pandemic is finally slowing down. There are fewer and fewer cases, and the variants are not so bad as they were before. So travel is open. The government here in Taiwan has opened the borders, and more tourists from overseas can come and visit. And here our writer is talking to a friend overseas and saying, hey, this is a golden opportunity for you to come visit us here in Taiwan. We can show you a really good time.
好，我们现在要练习就是撰写电子邮件，然后邀请外国友人到台湾来玩。那这个邀请的原因就是关于说，可能因为这随着新冠肺炎疫情趋缓啊，大家开始松绑出入境管制，那希望恢复疫情之前这种观光的盛况，对不对？好，那所以呢，我们现在要写这个电子邮件，我们的第一段可以说明邀请的原因，那么第二段呢，可以去推荐台湾的旅游景点、美食跟特色。最后，我们在电子邮件的后方呢，可以去表达说希望朋友能够成行。好，那所以下笔之前呢，同学们就可以想想看台湾到底有什么可以介绍给外国朋友的啊，包含景点啊、美食等等。那我们现在进入第一段要开始写了，像我们课文范例呢，它的说明邀请原因就是说疫情趋缓、开放边境，然后希望邀请对方暑假来玩。你之前提过一直想要来访，我觉得暑假会是个好时机。好，那换同学们要写写看的时候，你也可以提说，由于现在确诊数降低啊，疫苗接种率高啊，然后逐步解封之类的，那去提到说，我们先前有谈过你要来台湾玩啊，那我觉得暑假是个好时机，我们也都不用上课，这样类似这样去表达。好，这边补充一下，我们可以用 restriction 去表达限制。那你如果搭配动词 lift restrictions 就可以表达撤销限制、取消限制的意思咯。好，那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们说，换你写写看，其实可以怎么说？
Yep, here's what you may write in your invitation. Thanks to reduced case numbers and high vaccination levels, Taiwan's government is finally lifting the restrictions it put on tourists during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I think the summer would be a good time for you to make that visit we talked about, since we'll both have time off from school then. So indeed, it's February right now, and if you're planning to travel in the summer, you should probably make some preparations right now. And thanks to the reduced rates of new cases because of the lower number of confirmed cases. Well, the government thinks it's safe to lift those travel restrictions. More tourists can come in. So, yeah, the writer here thinks that summer would be a great time for the friend to come make that visit that we talked about before. And the reason summer is a good time is because we'll both have time off from school. Lots of people, of course, have summer off from college or high school or junior high or whatever.
好，那我们讲完这个邀请的原因之后呢，我们进入第二段就要写说要去介绍台湾值得一游的观光景点啊，还有美食，然后提高对方来游玩的意愿嘛。所以你要大力的推荐一些台湾很好玩啊、很好吃的东西。那我们来看看课文范例怎么说。
So here's what we're going to say. There's a ton of fun stuff to do and see here. For example, aside from being major tourist attractions, the National Palace Museum and Longshan Temple are great places to get a taste of local culture. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff to do here. There are a lot of things to do. We've got some examples here. We've got some tourist attractions, such as the National Palace Museum up in Shilin. We've also got Longshan Temple here in Taipei, or you can go check out the one in Lugang. That's pretty cool too. And of course, these are good examples to experience local culture.
好，我们来看看我们的课文范例有提到说，这里有很多可以做、可以看的有趣事物，来当做这个段落的开头。There's a ton of fun stuff to do and see here。那接着就开始举例说明咯。那像他就有提到像故宫啊，还有龙山寺等等，就是体验本地文化的好去处。那当我们用 get a taste of something 就可以表达去体验什么什么。换我们来练习写的话，你也可以开头写说 Taiwan has lots of cool sights to see and fun activities to offer 去表达说台湾有很多很棒的景点啊，有很多有趣的活动啊，然后接着再开始举例说明，像我们可以举例像去台北101或者是去吃鼎泰丰啊等等。那我们就来看看，换你写写看可以怎么说。
Here's what you could write. Taiwan has lots of cool sights to see and fun activities to offer. For example, we could get a great view of Taipei from Taipei 101 and then go eat at Din Tai Fung, my favorite restaurant. So here are some other suggestions for what someone could do if they come to Taiwan. Yeah, you could check out the cool sights and enjoy the fun activities, such as going to the top of Taipei 101 and seeing that giant heavy ball in there. Or you could go have some really tasty dumplings at Din Tai Fung. They not only have a branch on Xinilu, but they also have them in other places as well. Oh, you can get a great meal all over the place.
好，接着你当然会希望写一些很吸引朋友的点，也许你很了解你的朋友，知道他很爱户外活动嘛，那你就可以说来这边也可以去做一些户外活动，爬山、冲浪等等。我们看看课文范例他怎么说 ，Roger 老师。
You betcha. Here it says, I know you love the outdoors too, so I think you might also enjoy hiking and surfing while you're here. Of course, when you travel, you can do all sorts of things. You can go to museums or check out famous buildings and architecture. But if you love the outdoors, hey, you can go to the mountains or to the ocean, or you can go hiking in a forest. Here, we suggest hiking because there are lots of trails in the mountains, and you can go surfing as well in Tauchung and other places.
好，我记得北部也还蛮多冲浪地点的哦。那我们来换我们写写看，也许你可以说，我知道你很喜欢户外活动，所以我们可以去爬象山啊，或者去外澳沙滩去一日游，就举一些很特别的点，让他可以去做这些户外活动。那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么说。
Here's what you might write regarding outdoor activities. So here we say, I know you like outdoor activities too, so we could climb Elephant Mountain here in Taipei, or take a day trip to Waiao Beach if you like the sun and the surf.
好，那我们课文范例目前讲的这个活动地点大概都还是在北部嘛。那接着他就写到说，如果是可以待更久的话，甚至可以去到南部啊、东部这样子。我们来看看课文范例他怎么说。
Okay, so of course there are places farther south if you want to check those out. So better yet, if you could stay longer than a week or two, we definitely should visit Taroko Gorge or Kending, which both boast beautiful natural scenery. Ooh, that's even hard for me to say. They both boast beautiful natural scenery. Indeed, if you go to Taroko Gorge in Hualien, you're going to have a site for sore eyes there that will be quite beautiful to check out. And Kending also has great things to see, like that big sail rock down there.
好，那我们刚刚讲了好吃的好玩的，然后还有觉得他朋友可能会喜欢做的，接着我们就讲到说，如果可以待更长，可以待1-2个礼拜以上，一定要去哪里，要大力推荐这些景点，像是太鲁阁啊，或者是去垦丁，他们都有很美丽的这种自然景色。那这边他用到 better yet， 就是更好的是，更棒的是，你也可以用 better still 去表达，像这样的片语就是说明比前面提到更好的是。所以话我们写写看的时候呢，你也可以写说可能更棒的是啊，如果有足够时间可以去阿里山啊，或者是去看其他一些非常令人赞叹的自然风景，可以讲阿里山看日出等等，这样应该很吸引人。好，那我们来看看，换你写写看可以怎么说。
You might say, or better still, better yet, or even better, if you have enough time, we could even make a visit to Alishan National Scenic Area to check out the sunrise, forests, and other incredible natural scenery there. Of course, there are lots of places to go enjoy the great outdoors in Taiwan. We talked about Taroko Gorge and Kending, but let's not forget Alishan National Scenic Area. Yes, you can see the sea of clouds up there early in the morning, and of course, they got those giant cypress trees there.
好，那接着呢，我们当然还要提到很重要的，我觉得台湾就是以珍珠奶茶还有以这个臭豆腐出名，所以我们就当然可以提到说一定要去夜市逛一逛咯。我们来看看课文范例他怎么说。
Okay, of course, we're talking about night markets. So, meanwhile, the night markets here are legendary. So, I'd like to take you to try some of my favorite delicacies, such as boba tea and stinky tofu. So, of course, night markets are legendary here. Of course, people have known about them for a long time. They're very famous. And you could go, of course, to the Shirley Night Market or the Raohejie one here in Taipei. But, of course, there are great ones in Taichung and Kaohsiung and other places as well.
好，那我们来看看这边，他就说啦，这里的夜市呢很有名，他用 legendary， 他除了可以形容这种传奇的，也可以去形容家喻户晓、非常著名的意思。所以你这边就可以提到像臭豆腐 （stinky tofu） 或者是 boba tea 珍珠奶茶这样子。那你也可以提到其他像是小笼包啊、牛肉面等等。好，那现在换我们写写看，如果你想要表达说以什么出名、以什么闻名，你除了用 be famous for， 你也可以用 be famed for 等等等。这个 famous, fame 等等还可以你用别的字去替换都没有问题，或是 well known 之类的。好，那另外你也可以说 It would be cool to visit 什么什么 It would be cool to check out 什么什么，向别人推荐说如果能去参观什么，如果能去看看什么，就是太好了，用这样句型表达。好，那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么说。
And here's what you might write. Taiwan is also famed for its night markets, so it'll be cool. It'll be fantastic. It'll be far out to check out a few and sample some of the tasty local cuisine like soup dumplings or beef noodles. And of course, there are all sorts of other things to try in night markets.
好，那现在我们推荐完这些景点啊、美食等等，我们最后结尾要再次去做强调，然后希望这一趟可以成型嘛，所以我们来看看课文范例还怎么做结尾的哦。
Okay, here's the conclusion. Whatever we do, no matter what we do, I think you'll like Taiwan so much that you'll want to visit again soon. You might even want to stay here and live here for a couple of years. So I look forward to your reply and hope you can make the trip. I wonder if the friend is going to make his airplane reservations right away.
I wonder. 那我们来看看这边结尾，他就是要强调说，不管我们做什么呢，你都会非常喜欢台湾的，以至于呢会想要赶快再次来访，然后就期待你的回复啊，希望能够成型这样子。好，那换我们写写看呢，你也可以写说无论如何，你可以用 in any case 去表达无论如何，不管怎么样都会怎么样怎么样，我想你都会玩得很尽兴之类的。好，那也许呢你可能也担心说朋友会不会有一些其他状况不能来台，所以你自己一味的写着很兴奋，你可能也还可以加一下 that said，话虽如此，虽然我们前面讲了这些，那还是请你让我知道你的想法，如果可以来的话，我们就赶快来安排所有的细节吧。好，那我们接着就请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么说。
It's your turn to write, and here's what you might say. In any case, no matter what, I think you'll have such a great time that you'll probably want to come back again and again. You'll come back over and over again. That said, now that I've said that, let me know what you think, and we could start planning in greater detail if you can definitely make it over here. So traveling, of course, does involve lots of details. They need to know specific dates, where they're going to stay, how they're going to get around, etc. They will need to work on those details. Well, now it's time for us to move on to part 2, and we've actually got an invitation that David is writing to his friend Mike overseas. So, of course, David says there's some great news. The pandemic is slowing down. The government has opened the borders to tourists, so you don't have to stay in quarantine anymore. And, of course, Mike mentioned that he'd like to come and visit, so summer vacation would be a great time for them to travel together and see the sights together.
好，我们现在第二部分就来看整个电子邮件的格式咯。所以一开始你有这个收件人是 Mike， 那么还有 subject 就是你的主旨栏，注意这个栏位就是不能空了，所以他用 A Visit to Taiwan 来当做主旨栏的这个主题。好，那在一开始他说 Hi Mike， 这边就是一个称呼语咯，然后再进入电子邮件的内文。那我们看到第一段他用到 pandemic 还有 quarantine， 这两个都是我们蛮熟悉的字。 pandemic 就是这个疾病大流行，那么 quarantine它可以当名词或当动词去表达隔离的意思。
Okay, here's the next paragraph. It says, of course, here, this is what David is telling Mike. There are lots of things to do and see in Taiwan. Aside from the tourist attractions of the National Palace Museum and Longshan Temple, there are also places to enjoy local culture. You can get a taste of local culture, like night markets and things like that. He goes on to say, in addition, or also, I know you love the outdoors, so you might enjoy hiking and surfing while you're here in Taiwan. Better yet, or even better than that, if you could stay longer, we should not exclude or leave out the possibility of a trip to Taroko Gorge in Hualien or Kending down there in Pingdong. And they boast beautiful natural scenery. They have that. They can boast about it because it's so great, and they should be very proud of that scenery down there.
好，我们这边看到第二段落里面呢，我们有提到 get a taste of something， 就是可以表达体验。它其实字面意思是品尝某事物的滋味嘛。那它后面其实可以接抽象名词去表达尝试、体验什么什么。像文中 get a taste of local culture， 或者是你可能听到 get a taste of fame， 那就是体验成名的滋味咯。然后要提醒的是 outdoors 当副词，它表示在户外，可是在这边它是当名词去表达这种户外活动。那它还有户外、野外、大自然的意思，我们通常会用 the outdoors 去表达。有时候如果你看到 the great outdoors， 就是指自然界可以享受大自然的地方。
And going on, of course, we're talking about the famous night markets here in Taiwan. They're legendary. People know about them. They're famous. They're world-renowned. So, of course, we can go there and try some of the delicacies there, the wonderful treats, the tasty treats that you can have in night markets. And here, David gives Mike some examples. You can have boba tea, and you can also have stinky tofu or quail eggs or whatever. Anyway, no matter what, whatever we do, I think you'll like Taiwan a lot, and you'll want to come again and again. So I look forward to not only receiving your reply, but I look forward to seeing you as well. I hope you can make the trip. Hopefully nothing will come up to stop those plans.
好，那这边后面我们来补充一下，我们说 boba tea 就是珍珠奶茶，你可能也看到很多写法哦，像 pearl milk tea 也是，或者是 bubble tea 也是，或者是 bubble milk tea 都可以。好，那再看到这边有一个字叫做 delicacy， 它是当名词去表达美食佳肴，那这时候它可以当可数名词，只是要特别注意，如果它是去表达这种脆弱性啊，某个东西它的脆弱，那这时候它就是不可数名词哦，要注意这个字还有别的用法。
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of Topic Writing. Hopefully, you will be able to write an invitation to a friend in the near future, and we wish you a happy summer. From all of us here at All+ Interactive English, my name is Roger.
And I'm Hanny.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.